Good morning, Nigeria. We're back. Yes, we are back. We're back to bring you the vibe, intellectual conversations, dope narrations, analysis, and dissection on the illest show streaming live on television, Tea Time. My name is Mololua, but if Abdusalam was here, he would have hailed me as the industrious, the enigmatic woman. I identify as that too. Thank you. Thank you. And you know I never do this alone. With me is the luscious.
Oh my gosh.
The
Stop.
Lydia. Good morning.
Good morning, Mo. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well, very well.
I'm so happy Abdusalam isn't here. Like,
yes.
The joy. The joy in my soul.
No wonder today has been feeling different. I think that's why.
Very good vibes. Like this. And today is Woman Crush Wednesday, so like literally, this is the perfect.
Exactly.
The
perfect time to have him.
The perfect dynamic. I love it for us.
High five. I
love it for us. But you guys, we can't do this without you. So join the conversation by calling 0909 8408 to share your opinions on the trending discussions that we are about to have. As Abdusalam would say, and he's not here and we're still shouting him out. Can you see? And we're just...
After he say we don't like him, that's not even true. Well,
you have to form, like, this is a professional setting. I can't share my true opinions about him.
True.
So, he's my co-anchor and he will be back, unfortunately. So I have to prepare the ground for when that happens. But as Abdusalam would say, we have some trending videos to get your blood pumping and your heart beating. So let's have our trending videos now.
I know that you hate me.
I'm absolutely done with talking stages, so I've taken my time to create PDF file. So don't waste my time. We'll just answer questions and then move on and see. At the end of the day, if you're wasting my time, you're going to wire me 500k for emotional damages because I'm not doing this rubbish with anybody again.
I know that you hate me.
I'm absolutely done with talking stages, so I've taken my time to create PDF file. So don't waste my time. We'll just answer questions and then move on and see. At the end of the day, if you're wasting my time, you're going to wire me 500k for emotional damages because I'm not doing this rubbish with anybody again.
But for real, talking stages, like, can they be abolished already? Do we need talking stages? What? Our parents didn't have talking stages. Our parents would meet and within like 3 months they're married.
But at the same time,
what?
I mean,
this is
I feel like talking stages, they're essential, but I think the way we go about them is just what is like
What
stressful.
is our own definition of talking stage in this generation? Because
I mean, generally, you would still need to get to know someone anyways. And, there would obviously be some initial points, that would, let you know if you're actually interested. So, you quote unquote, you profile the person and everything. And then, when that person has passed that stage, then you go into like the talking stage. Oh, let's see if it's not just, beauty. Let's see about the brains, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I feel, the talking stage should not really be like abolished. And honestly, I understand where she's coming from totally, because honestly, I am done as well. But at the same time, I mean, you can't really run away.
Some talking stages are longer than the actual relationship. Like, you talk for long. You now get into a relationship and it's over. So what were you talking about?
Well, initially, I think, honestly, but I don't blame her, honestly.
I think this is a very efficient thing to do because let's save everybody's time. Just the documents, I'll send it to you if you say you're interested. Apply within. Send me your email address. I'll forward you the document. Fill in your name, your blood type, your blood group, how many siblings you have, if you have children, just fill in the form.
Then we can know where to go from there. You can have like all the essential things in the document instead of wasting my time to come and asking me about basic stuff.
Someone starts asking me what my favorite color is, what my favorite...
Like how many people need to know my favorite color? Like,
do you know the number of people walking around on this earth right now that know my favorite color? It's not necessary, and I'm only going to marry one.
I know!
So what's all this?
I just feel like you guys are going to end up being friends later on or something. Like, you guys are like practically
But then
done.
our parents actually didn't do talking stages. So how did they do it? And a lot of them, I would say, have had long marriages. So how did they navigate that kind of situation?
Honestly, I don't even know, because I think a lot of people also had, like, would I say, arranged.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people had arranged marriages, so they didn't necessarily care about all those things too. It was more of, oh, can this person take care of you? Does this person, love you to a certain extent? At least, is he a good person? Is he, recognized in society? So those kind of things mattered more to them, and as opposed to now where we have like more like deeper connections, or quote unquote deeper connections. So maybe that's why things are a bit different. But at the same time, honestly, sis, you are starting something that I think is about to start trending everywhere, because we can't do these talking stages
Maybe
anymore.
we should bring back arranged marriages then. Maybe
It's 50-50.
Why?
I mean, life would be fair to some people, and it really would not be fair to some other people.
How? Because the people that are arranging them are your parents, usually, and they want the best for you, so they're going to try and protect your interests, I guess, in choosing the partner for you.
But the thing is that at the same time, like, they won't really know everything. They won't know everything about that person.
Yes.
They might not even know everything that you want in a partner.
Yeah.
And when you get into marriage, you start discovering new things about your partner. And there's only so much a person can take. So I think it's better, doing it yourself, and actually, okay, I made this decision myself. I'm going to face the consequences or the rewards.
Yeah.
So
So then, what's the longest talking stage? Like, after what point do you think this is the cutoff? No talking stage should be longer than.
personally,
Yes.
I would say not longer than 3 months. Give or take, not longer than 3 months.
That's like 90 days. That's 90 days. What was 90 times 24? Do you know how many hours?
Oh my God, I know, but it's just like, sometimes life gets in the way of things. So, it's like covering all those miscellaneous events and stuff like that. Let's just say, give or take 3 months, for you to meet and, talk and, actually know, okay, do I actually like this person enough to continue? I mean, what do you think?
3 months is the longest. Longest. I feel like, I don't know. They always say that when you know, you know.
Okay.
So like, I don't know, like after like a month of talking to somebody, usually every day, like, do you not know whether you want to
be with that person or not?
I don't know.
Okay,
Unless it's very irregular conversation, but the bottom line is people should stop wasting people's time with this whole talking stage situation. Like, get to the point.
Agreed.
Get to the point.
Get to the point.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's have the next trending video.
Family problem, oh, family problem. You like it, you don't like it, you go get them. Family wahala, family wahala. You marry, you don't marry, there is no escape. Oh. Family problem, oh, family problem. You like it, you don't like it, you go get them. Family wahala, family wahala. You marry, you don't marry, there is no escape. Family problem, no exception, no solution. It is a part of life. If it be from your missus or from your mama, that's your sister, your brother, or your brother wife. Every day now wahala, I be make you off your phone or make you run. Family problem, family problem. You like it, you don't like it, you go get them.
Say about men, because why are you eating the baby food?
Well, the only thing that you might justify, and like that's in a bold quote, is because he's probably the one buying it from the baby food. That's the only. But apart from that, I mean, it doesn't have any nutritional value to you. Like, why are you eating? No.
It reminds me of those memes where it's like you leave a baby with the father, and it's the baby that's looking after the father.
And then the father looking after the baby.
Because I'm just like, why are you sleeping?
But
why are you sleeping?
A lot of women say that men actually like to be babied. So
maybe they haven't grown out of it.
Yeah, maybe they haven't grown out of it yet.
Okay. So they haven't grown out of it yet, and they're having babies. So who will now look after who now?
Well, I guess everybody's looking at the age factor, all those kind of like serious.
And this is actually also why a lot of wives wives say that when they marry and then they have a child, let's say they have one child, they'll be like, oh, my 2 children, because the man is still very much like a child. It's just so interesting how men, as big and as macho as they are,
they're just like babies. I've heard it over and over again. I don't really know what it is that makes them, act like babies, quote unquote, but like maybe it's just, finally having your own person you can be like vulnerable with. You don't need to put up a front.
Men don't really get the chance in society to be vulnerable. So maybe I guess in that relationship that might be in fact the only place that they get that chance. So that actually makes
I find it so interesting. You're like, men, they're like babies. Like just the smallest thing. I'm like, oh, I thought it was women that had those kind of things.
They even say that when a man is sick, that oh god, you think the whole world is crashing.
Honestly, and they'll be like all over you. Like well, women, we're so used to put yourselves together. Oh, you have a cold. Oh, take this medicine. But men, it's like oh help. It's giving like damsel in distress, but like for men. So honestly, I don't blame you. I mean, the prices of baby food these days, anyways, it's enough for you to be sharing with your children at this point. Like, I honestly don't blame you at this point.
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't even know. Some things never change, I guess, as they say. Some things never change. Men, I don't know, continue to be the babies that you are. I don't know what advice to give you right now. So. But those were our trending videos, and we are now going into, because today is Women Crush Wednesday, we have to start with a woman that's doing things. She's doing bits, and I love it for her. Nigerian chef Grace Nwaokobia, daughter of one of our well-loved political analysts at PlusTvAfrica, Professor Chris Mustafa Nwaokobia Jr., has shattered the Guinness World Record for the longest home kitchen cooking marathon. Nwaokobia began cooking on Friday and surpassed the previous record of 68 hours and 30 minutes by a significant margin. At the time of writing, she's been cooking for over 86 hours straight. Wow. Food prepared during the marathon is being donated to charities across Lagos, with the Little Saints Orphanage in Ilupeju being the first recipient. Former presidential candidates, Peter Obi, attended the event early on Tuesday morning to celebrate Nwaokobia's achievement. Obi praised her dedication and commitment, highlighting her accomplishment as an inspiration to young Nigerians pursuing entrepreneurial endeavors.
Bravo.
We love it for her.
I love it, love it, love it, love it. Also, low-key shout out to Hilda Basi for really kickstarting this whole thing, because honestly, I didn't even think it was going to be, I mean, yes, it's a big deal, you broke your record, but I didn't think it was going to be, I didn't think it would have such a ripple effect on the country. Everybody is now trying to like break records, and in as much as people kind of look down on it to an extent because they feel like, oh, Nigerians, you guys are doing too much, but it's a good thing. I mean,
yes, it's a good thing. I agree, but we had some, like, I thought I saw one like hand washing. Somebody was trying to break the record for hand washing.
Are you serious?
Like,
why?
You can't really blame people for looking at Nigerians and thinking, oh, they've come. Because once we start like this,
everybody is going to, until it just finally dies out and then we move on to the next thing.
Like, can you imagine working at Guinness World Records and just seeing yet another? It's just like, bro, there should be a limit, honestly. There should be a limit every year as to the number of people from a certain country that can apply. Because Nigerians, last year, I don't want to know how many people applied for Guinness World Record for something, one thing or another. It's too much.
I mean, but at the same time, at least they're doing something productive with their time. At least they're not going to steal. So at least it's reducing, a lot of like societal vices and everything. But I am so proud of her. This is just mwah, chef's kiss, if you know what I mean.
Hey, if you get it, you get it.
If you get it, you get it.
You don't get it for Garabana. But hey, I don't think I can even cook for like 6 hours. I'm above 86. I'm not a big domestic goddess. How about you? Do you like cooking, right? You seem like someone that likes cooking. You seem
it's like half, not so much.
Okay.
So I think my own family dynamic makes me kind of not really want to cook, because like, you know, I have a lot of like cousins and everybody around, so it's like, you know, it just sometimes feels like cooking for this great community. Sometimes it even feels like even just cooking for yourself, you're just like, I'm just over it. Like, but I mean, I think I like it in here. I just don't actually like doing it. I don't even know if that makes any sense.
Context. So maybe like if you moved out or something.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe it could also be maybe just what I am quote unquote forced to cook, you know. So maybe like switching things up would actually be nicer. But in all honesty, I think I would rather just do dishes. And,
really?
You know, yeah. It sounds very interesting too. It's hearing myself say, but like I think I would actually rather just, you know, like clean up, you know, arrange. For whatever reason, I don't know why. It's just kind of, and I used to really hate it, you know, growing up because, you know, it was just the worst. But then, I mean, it's like now I've just gotten used to it. So, but I mean, somebody is out here cooking for 86
hours. No, you couldn't even pay me to do that.
No.
Even if you're paying me, I couldn't do it.
Actually,
you couldn't pay me.
Shout out to you, Grace.
Honestly, well done. Like, we're really, really, really happy for you here at Plus TV, and yeah, we're rooting you on, you know, for however long you're planning to go. As it stands, you seem already to have broken the record. Hopefully, Guinness World Record can verify that and give you your title. But really well done to you. Woman Crush Wednesday, girl power.
Yes.
Well, so as not to discriminate, so let's show something the men have done as good as well.
But they'll say we don't show them.
Abdul Salam will now watch this and say, you people. So I'm sorry for you. Bola Yusuf, his life has taken what we can call an extraordinary turn, I would say. When a chance encounter with a model scout at a Lagos restaurant landed him a coveted spot on the runway at Milan Fashion Week. Temi, a regular customer at the place restaurant, noticed Gbolahan's potential and sent a video to her modeling agency. This simple act has opened the door to a whole new world for Gbolahan. He secured a dream opportunity to debut at Milan Fashion Week Men's Season 25, working for the luxury brand Fendi. Temi documented the journey on her social media, showcasing Gbolahan's transformation from restaurant server to international model. Gbolahan himself expressed his gratitude on social media, thanking his supporters and acknowledging the life-changing opportunity. His story has resonated with many Nigerians, serving as an inspiring tale of unexpected success. I mean, we do love these kind of grass to grace.
Yes.
Kind of stories.
I'm always here for it. And I think, you know, Nigerians they just have so much to offer. But I feel like there's always, you know, like a lot of limitation. And you know, hearing this story it's just really inspiring. You know, it just always shines like a little light of hope that, you know what, you know, we're not so doomed in this country. Like, we're actually gifted, and, you know, we can actually go places. And I'm really happy for Gbolahan Yusuf. You know, I watched the video too. I was shocked. I honestly, I was not even expecting. I even just stumbled upon it, you know, very randomly. I think on TikTok, and you know, I was just filled with so much joy. Like, wow, like this is someone that he never even thought he would, you know, be like a model. He probably just felt like, oh, you know, let me just be at my humble, you know, work, you know, being a waiter or a server or whatever. And then now, like, you're on the runway for Fendi, like, I would pay to,
like, wow.
I know what I would try to do to if I could even be a model, let alone for Fendi, like, and it really is. I'm so happy, like, I'm really filled with joy for it.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Bible verse where it says, you know, seest thou a man diligent in his ways, he will come before kings and not mere men, because he was working at the place, right? And it just really, to me, shows that whatever it is that you have right now, whatever it is you're doing right now, just do it well, right? Because it was from him working at the place. Imagine, let's say, if he was, you know, he didn't come to work. He just, you know, he's been employed but doesn't come to work. That's how, if he, just that day, if he didn't come to work that day, literally, all of this could have gone like that.
Or if he had like a bad attitude, let's say he was even treating like Temi wrongly or somebody else, you would have just been like, oh no, I can't work with this kind of person. Or he had just taken his job, you know, like, I'm tired of working at that place, like I'm so frustrated. But you know, it just warms my heart to see these kind of things, and I'm so happy.
Honestly, like I feel like we should all be encouraged that like no matter what you're doing, no matter how little impact you feel like you're having, just continue doing it and doing it well. Because we're also encouraged to like do anything we're doing in the bad words unto God, right? Because if you're able to do something with excellence, then it will show like, and it might not be in the way you think. So for example, he might, the highest he could have thought he could have achieved, maybe be promoted at the place, not get onto the runway to work for Fendi.
And it's like God had other plans for him, like
right? It reminds me of this like meme thingy that I've seen where it's like God takes a small teddy bear with you, and then behind his back there's a big
giant
one, right? And so it really just shows that no matter how little you think it is that you are right now in terms of your level, there is more.
Yeah.
There is more, and you just have to continue to be diligent because you don't know when that more is going to come. So stay ready, basically. And yeah, you know, I believe God will make things work for your good. So congratulations to Golahan.
Congratulations.
We are so proud and happy for you. So moving on. Well, moving on. Let's just say moving on. Let's not say anymore. Seun Kuti, our fave. Afrobeats musician Seun Kuti has accused the Nigerian media of unfairly overlooking his accomplishments and inflating those of his contemporaries. In a recent interview, Kuti expressed frustration that Burna Boy received credit for being the first Nigerian artist at Coachella, despite Kuti's own performance there in 2012. He further highlighted that his brother, Femi Kuti, has received multiple Grammy nominations, while his own nomination for Black Times and his contribution to Janelle Monáe's Age of Pleasure were ignored by Nigerian media. Kuti feels this pattern of overlooking his achievements suggests a bias against him. First of all, do you even think, like, I see Seun Kuti in the media a lot, but maybe not for his work or his music.
Yes, and I think that's part of the problem.
Right.
He's always coming out, you know, speaking, you know, against whether injustice or one other societal issue or just maybe even something random that he wants to rant about. And I think that's kind of like the problem. Like if we were seeing a bit more of his work, you know, maybe they would actually like recognize him for what he's doing more, as opposed to just seeing him as someone that's always just coming out to. And I'm not saying it's bad to speak out, you know, against issues or anything, but it seems like he's just always here for violence, that kind of thing. Like he's just always here for violence.
He's a Kuti, so
right. So it is expected, honestly, it's in his bloodline. But it's just, you know, it was like. I don't want to be that person that does this, but it's like, okay, so for example, with you know, with his dad, you know, Fela, he was doing the whole, you know, like, would I say freedom fighter, but then we were also getting the music steady. But it's like, and it might just be me, but I don't think I know a single Seun Kuti song.
Yeah.
So, but I just know him as that person that, you know, if you try rubbish around him, he will call you out.
Yeah.
So I think it's all of that that's kind of, you know,
fair.
overshadowing his accomplishments and everything. Am I saying that it's right that, you know, no, and I don't really think that there is a bias against him per se, but I just feel, you know, if we're actually getting more music, you know, and all of that, then maybe we would actually be able to recognize his achievements, you know, as opposed to just, Seun Kuti, the troublemaker guy or something like that. So what do you think?
I feel like even if that's his brand, which is fine to me, of, you know, speaking out and all this kind of stuff, then maybe he should just try and make his music more intertwined in that kind of thing.
Yes.
But, you know, just even if it's going to be a vibe of, you know, he's going to criticize X and Y, he could infuse that into his music. I mean, Fela did that a lot, I think. He spoke through his music. So maybe he could consider, I haven't listened to his work, honestly, so I don't know if he already does that. But I don't know, like he should consider potentially using his platform to amplify his music and maybe using songs and music to actually pass his message instead of the way he does it at the moment.
Exactly. I don't even have issues with him, you know, speaking out. But I think sometimes even the way, because I know there was a time I think he had some kind of, not really an altercation, but I think there was a pastor, I've forgotten who it was. And
rings a bell.
Yeah, and then, you know, the way he just came at him, you know, colonialist, you mean you don't know anything, like, it's kind of like tuning people out. Like I'm not saying I know more than you or anything, but you can always pass your points, without, being so aggressive and, pitchy and everything. But it just seems like that is really what people associate him more with, as opposed to, like the music thing. So
even if you want to be aggressive, at least let your music also push your music aggressively. So
actually,
and that way, if Nigerian media still ignores you, then you have a real point. But as it stands, we're not really sure of your music in the first place, so maybe you could do more to push your music.
And I think, sorry to cut you off. So he was talking about, Janelle Monáe, and it's like Nigerians don't really listen to Janelle Monáe. So I mean, even if you actually did contribute, I mean, most people wouldn't know, except for people that really like actively listen to her and stuff. And even Coachella, most people just know Coachella because it's obviously like like the festival, there's the fashion aspects, Beyonce, all those kind of things. So people don't really pay so much attention to Coachella. I mean, I don't think your emotions are valid, but at the same time, I'm sorry, that's just the way I feel.
Collaborating. I don't know how. Again, I'm saying all this take it with a pinch of salt, because in terms of the music that he does have out at the moment, does he collaborate with sort of people that are, I don't want to say trending, but does he collaborate with musicians that people are listening to a lot right now? Like that, all of that kind of thing. Music is business.
Yes.
Ultimately, so if you want to be recognized for your music, then you should be able to do the business part and play to a degree, play the game. Right?
Yeah. So I totally agree.
I mean, if it is true, then it is unfortunate, but we do think that there is maybe room for Seun Kuti to potentially influence the way his music is perceived and taken up by Nigerians. So that is what we have for the first segment. And speaking of music, we will probably take a little bit of a music break. I don't think we're going to listen to Seun Kuti, shall we? But let's see what jams we have today. Let's see what this person has to say. So we have a music producer, K Solo. Do you know him?
I honestly don't.
Okay. Anyway, K Solo, whoever you are, we greet you, sir. K Solo has ignited controversy with comments placing blame for internet fraud, otherwise known as Yahoo, and online sex work on Nigerian women. He's blaming Nigerian women for this. He said in a recent interview that mothers enabled these activities. He recounted witnessing a mother instructing her teenage daughter to bring something back, implying involvement in questionable activities. He also referenced a past practice where mothers allegedly collected proceeds from internet scams perpetrated by their sons. He further criticized female celebrities for promoting a materialistic lifestyle that influences young girls. The comments have drawn criticism for placing undue blame on women. K Solo did acknowledge the role of male celebrities in societal factors, but the focus on mothers and female influencers has sparked outrage. Rightly so. Do you not think?
Honestly, I don't agree with this. I don't agree with the aspect of putting the blame on mothers.
Okay, why?
Because I feel that, when it comes to parenting, I feel, there are two parents. There's not just one, except, there's a single parent, fine. But in, like an ideal nuclear family setting, there's two parents.
Yeah.
And both parents should be responsible for raising their children. And I think it's important to have, two perspectives from both parents. Because I feel like women get blamed for a lot. Okay. Women get blamed for a whole lot. And I know there's the angle of, women, they're nurturers, they're supposed to train the children. I feel fine. If my husband is going out, he might be doing more of the providing, but that doesn't mean that you should slack in your, what is it called? Like the aspect where you have to raise the children, in the training and, bringing up of the child. I don't think that you should be slack in that area. And it doesn't mean that you know, we have to be on the exact same level. But, you know, imagine if you see a child and they can't say that, you know, maybe their father or maybe let me say their father, because in this case, mothers are being attacked, that their father has contributed, you know, significantly, you know, to, let me put it this way, their emotional bank accounts, actually raising them up, you know, training them, giving them different advice and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't really, in an African setting, it makes sense because, you know, men are, you know, taught not to be vulnerable and, you know, all of that kind of stuff. Just provide for your family, you know, secure them physically and all of that. But, you know, when you actually think about it, being that there's two people to bring the child into the world, fine, the responsibilities might not be 50-50, but there's still percentages of those responsibilities, and I think that each person should pull their own weight. You know, so I think blaming women and saying no, I honestly do not agree with all of this, because there are two parents, and you know, and as much as I'm going to do my part, I might be the one that may be able to spend more time with the children, get to know them better. But I think if you're going to be intentional as well, you know, you're a parent, you should be intentional about raising your children. You know, what do you think?
I mean, ideally, yes, but the way it stands,
Okay.
I think mothers tend to, like you say, play that role right now. Maybe our generation will be the significant change that will really, you know, have us separated from the way it has been historically. But at least as Nigerians, the way it stands, like you say, it's the mother's role, right? And I think maybe what is really happening is that the mothers are actually capitalizing on this closeness that they have with their children to influence them.
Okay.
Because they know that, yeah, you are the one, like, Jiggers, like, I am the one that has cared for you the way emotionally.
Yes.
They also have that stake and that power to wield, to sort of emotionally, I don't want to say blackmail you, but influence you,
yes,
to do some things that they want. This time that he was saying, he saw one mother say to her daughter, oh, bring something back. So what might happen is that maybe she's going somewhere. She could even be going back to school, to uni or something. And she's called her mom saying, oh, I'm on my way back. And her mom's like, bring something back. Like, the pressure that puts on young people, right?
Yes.
Black tax is all falls within this thing. You know, taxing your children to sponsor your family or to raise your younger children. It doesn't make any sense. And it's that pressure that causes young people to do things like prostitution. It's that pressure that causes young people to do things like fraud. Because their parents, ultimately, there are many, many parents, and I'm not trying to even be generalized here, but there are so many parents that they put so much pressure on, especially if you're the eldest now. They put so much pressure on the older children to fund the family.
Yes.
Where are they going to get the money from? Where are they going to get the money from? They're either still in school or they just left school. Like, where? So, of course, it's going to be quick money now. It's going to be stuff like this that, that they're being pressured towards doing. Like, to me, it's actually just logical. So maybe, like, mothers can be blamed.
So I agree with the, you know, like the black tax and, you know, the sort of like emotional blackmail. But I feel, honestly, if you're going to blame parents, blame parents.
Not just mothers.
You know, not just mothers. Because, you know, like I said, women are blamed for a whole lot,
Fair enough.
You know, when it comes to rape, which honestly, I know it's not even part of the topic today, but don't even let us get into that.
Yeah.
Women are still blamed, you know, and it's a common thing I've noticed. Well, I can only speak for my culture, but I've noticed with my culture, when a child misbehaves, it's the mother that taught her how to behave like that. It's the mother that taught her, or it's the mother that didn't train her how to. So it's always on the mothers, and it's like, okay, the fathers. What about the fathers? You know, and it's interesting because, okay, fine, if a mother does well and the father, you know, maybe doesn't like do so well, society too will come when they're celebrating the mothers. They'll say, she didn't even care about the father. So, but I'm like, okay,
Too many
fine.
Mother's Days. Only one father.
Honestly, I'm like, okay, fine. You people don't want to contribute as significantly as us, but you also still want to be celebrated. It doesn't work that way.
Fair
you
enough.
know, it doesn't really work that way. So I feel, you know, blaming mothers and, you know, female, like he even mentioned, you know, like the part of the celebrities and everything. And, you know, I mean, they're celebrities, you know, there would be nothing so special about them if they didn't. And to be fair, I mean, they have worked for what they got, you know. I'm not, everybody's means of livelihood might not be entirely clean. Some people might be entirely clean, but they have worked for it and they've earned it. And if they actually want to showcase everything that they had, I mean everything that they have, it shouldn't be such a bad thing. But I think the work would be more, individual and like within home setting, like actually cautioning yourself to, if you want to be like that, you can work at it, but just do honest work, not questionable work. But I feel, blaming women and saying that it's women's fault, no, because there are men as well. Why are the men not standing up? Why are the men not saying stuff? Why are they know what is right? It's like, what is right, but you're just waiting for another person to say, and then you just be at the back. Yeah, what you said, that kind of thing. No, like everybody should be speaking up if they're saying something that's not right. So, he did a good job by speaking out, but if there were more men, maybe things would be better. So that's just what I feel.
Well said. Very well said. Well said. And speaking about celebrities, we have a well-loved celebrity, I would say, Toke Makinwa, Nigerian media personality. She has also sparked some conversation on social media after criticizing the traditional practice of tribal marking. In a series of posts, Makinwa condemned the custom as a form of cruelty inflicted on children without their consent. While acknowledging the cultural significance of tribal marks and even appreciating their beauty on some individuals, Makinwa expressed her disapproval of the practice due to the lack of choice it affords children. She highlighted the positive shift away from tribal marking and its replacement with a more inclusive approach to identification. How do you feel about tribal marks? You don't have tribal marks. How do you feel about tribal marks?
So tribal marks, interestingly enough, they kind of used to scare me just a little bit, because I'm like, why do you have these long marks on your face?
Yeah.
But I feel for the people that have them, that's fine. But now I feel
doing it
on children, especially in this day and age, it's not. I wouldn't say that it's not right, but I feel there are a lot of questionable things. So, like she said, tribal marks were originally used for identification and all of that kind of stuff. It's like, okay, it does, just because I don't have tribal marks doesn't change the fact that maybe I'm from Oyo State or from Kwara State or I'm from this particular community. There are other things. Actually even having the knowledge of where I'm from and what my heritage is. There are still other things. Some people it's the dressing. Some people even within like Yoruba land, there are some certain communities that have certain colors of ashoke and stuff like that. So I feel there are other ways to identify as opposed to this
like marking of the faces.
And I really hate the stigmatization that comes with it, which I think is kind of where she's coming from.
Yeah, a lot of people are bullied.
Yeah, a lot of people are bullied. They'll be like, oh, look at you have tribal marks, and it's like, the tribal marks are not, supposed to make you ugly. In fact, some people actually found the tribal marks kind of attractive.
Beautiful, yeah.
But it's like, now, okay, things are changing. I think people should have the choice whether they want tribal marks or not. What do you think?
As a child, you don't really have a lot of choice about many things. Your your parents make the decisions for you. I just think parents need to be informed about what they're doing. If having considered all options, you still think tribal marks are the best for your children, fair enough. Hopefully they agree with you when they're older. But I think you should know why. Don't just do it because it's tradition. Don't just do it because it's a practice, especially if it's going to be something that has a long-lasting impact on the child. All right? So that is literally where we have to draw the curtain today. We have no more time. We ran out of time, but thank you so much for watching. As always, you can always join the conversation on social media with the hashtag #TeaTime. And remember, you can catch up on our previous episodes, including this very one and all our exclusive content by subscribing to our YouTube channel at PlusTvAfrica Lifestyle. You can also watch Tea Time on R2TV and in London on Ben Television and DSTV channel 408. A big thank you goes to my fellow woman crush.
Oh, thank you, Mo. Thank you.
Lydia, thank you so much. And thank you also to the entire production team. Thank you guys for making this happen. And thank you for watching Plus TV Africa's Tea Time. My name is Mololua, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.